Meanwhile, the federal government is refusing to loosen restrictions on marijuana, but does open the door for more pot research. The DEA has rejected petitions to reclassify the drug. Marijuana is currently a Schedule I drug, which means it's classified as having no accepted medical use and a high potential for abuse. That puts it on the same level as drugs like heroin and ecstasy.
Well, today's decision puts the DEA at odds with 25 states that have already legalized medical marijuana and some members of Congress who are pushing for change. Bernie Sanders tweeted out about the DEA's decision, writing, "People can argue about the pluses and minuses of marijuana, but everyone knows it's not a killer drug like heroin." Earlier today, CBSN asked people on the street to weigh in.
I think it should probably be less regulated, dealt with differently, more like tobacco or alcohol in general. Same concept. They're both gateway drugs to harder things. They're all equal in that sense. Instead of having a war on drugs, let's tax the crap out of it.
I think that it's been proven that marijuana has obvious medicinal purposes. It's always going to be deemed as a gateway drug because it's the cheapest and it's the most accessible. So I think that the federal government needs to find some sort of a way to put the blame somewhere, and I think they're always going to blame marijuana.
Our Justice reporter Paula Reid joins us from Washington. Okay, Paula, so we saw there a majority of Americans think that weed should be legalized, but then we have half of the states also have made marijuana, medical marijuana, legal. So what's the DEA's reason for holding out?
In a letter to lawmakers, the head of the DEA, Chuck Rosenberg, laid out his reasons for not moving it off of Schedule I. As Vlad noted before, if you're on Schedule I, it means that drug has no accepted medical use. And Chuck, in this email, says that he looked at evidence from the FDA and found that there are still no accepted, no recognized medical uses, and therefore marijuana should stay in Schedule I alongside drugs like heroin and LSD. He emphasizes that it's not about how dangerous the drug is, it's about whether or not it has a medically accepted use. Now, Chuck Rosenberg has telegraphed this in the past when we've talked to him at other times about other issues and asked him about marijuana. He has said that he's very skeptical about claims of medicinal use for marijuana or miracle cures, but he acknowledges that the process for trying to use marijuana for research or do research on medicinal marijuana, it's convoluted, it's full of red tape, and that needs to be streamlined. So that is his concession today. They're going to make it easier to do research on marijuana, although they continue to leave marijuana in that dreaded Schedule I.
That was some incredible B-roll. Paula, let me ask you about the states that have already made pot legal. What is going to happen with them?
People and businesses in the states where marijuana is legal, they shouldn't really fear federal prosecution because obviously the federal government has seen how many states have made it legal. And then while they can't unilaterally change laws, they've issued what they call guidance, specifically to federal prosecutors. They've said, look, in states where marijuana is legal, don't focus on individuals. Don't prosecute people for small amounts of marijuana at the federal level. Let's focus our limited resources on widespread distribution schemes or other criminal enterprises. Also with businesses, the Department of Justice has said even though marijuana is illegal at the federal level, we want you, banks and other businesses, to be able to interact and do business and commerce with legal marijuana retailers. We don't want all this money that's being made on legal marijuana to be stored in shoeboxes and under mattresses because that gives rise to other crime. So the Department of Justice is trying to be smart and protect people and businesses that live in states where marijuana is legalized and not make them have to fear federal prosecution.
Paula Reid, thank you.